for you all are those people that invest in us, some way, some shape, form, or fashion, right? And so in particular, I'm automatically thinking about my parents and the investment that they put into me. And I'm sure my siblings would concur with what I'm saying, but I guess you want to see a return on your investment in most cases, right? We're not, in this case, talking about financially, but, when your parents, instill certain values, they want to see that they're going out in this world and really living by that. So I was going through paperwork. One thing me and my mom share in common is we like to declutter, and we both tend to hold on to papers. And so I was going through papers the other day, and I took a picture of it, by the way. I came across this note. This note was written from my parents September 16th in 2007. And it's to both me and my twin sister, literally the day before we left for basic training. And it says, to Chyna and Charnel, from Mom and Dad, we love you, you can do it. And in this note, there's 14 things to remember, is kind of how my mom put it. I can tell this is her handwriting. And I'm just gonna read these off to you all really quick, and it will help put into perspective kind of the family that I come from, and I think what they kind of instilled in us. And so number one is put God first. Respect yourself, respect for others, responsibility for all your actions, stay focused. God is always available for us. My God shall supply all your needs according to his riches and glory. Ask God to meet you, ask specifically. Do your best, look your best, be your best. Ask yourself, am I doing my best? God wants us to do our best. Be a follower of Jesus. We represent him. Trust God. Be an encourager. God calls us all things to work together for good to those who obey him. Obey God and leave all the consequences to him. And that was a note that, really means a lot to me. And it just really took me back to the feeling of why I do what I do, why I go so hard, why I like to be a good role model for my nieces and nephews, for my children, and just really what I stand for in a nutshell. And so I start with you, Daddy, I start with you, Mommy, and I say thank you both for really just encouraging me throughout the years. Daddy, you know that you're not the easiest one for people to understand all the time, and growing up, you showed us hard love. I joke with him and I said, I think he thought we were boys because the work that he had us doing as little girls, looking back is hilarious. But I appreciate that because I think that's where I get my work ethic from. And my mom, of course, she just kind of keeps me connected to my faith. So Mommy, thank you for that. I did want to move down the line to my fiance over there. Not for much longer, but Wallace, I thank you for really being one of my biggest supporters, really holding down the household when I fall short, especially when we went through what we went through with RJ. I mean, you really are the one that just kind of had to keep some type of normalcy for Khaleesi, and I really appreciate you for that. Christy and Charnel, my siblings, you all are my diaries, you all know this. But at the same time, you all are also the one that can tell me, Chyna, that doesn't look right, that doesn't sound right. You might want to reel it in a little bit. And we don't always see eye to eye, but what I do appreciate is the fact that like stuff like this, they're here today. So this is December the 3rd, Christmas is coming, and this money that they paid to come here, the time, their children missing school, that's a sacrifice, and so I look at that and I really appreciate you all for just going out of your way to always support me. And then to Khaleesi and RJ, thank you all, baby, for just being my biggest little cheerleaders. I love you all. I love you, Khaleesi, and your little brother so much. You already knew that though, didn't you? Yes. Okay, let me get back on track. All right, so moving on from that, I want to point out Colonel Taylor and Sergeant Major Webster because I'm blessed to have the working relationship with them that I do. And Kristen in the back can tell you, Sergeant Major isn't always easy on us, right? You know, he tells us how it is, you know, and we have to answer to him. But the thing that I respect about you, Sergeant Major, is the fact that he is a guy about getting business done. If something needs to be done, you can believe and count on he's going to get it done. And so that leads me to think about my promotion. With this promotion, for those of you all that don't know, I was promoted 1 October. However, that was under a temporary promotion, which had just gotten approved, where they said, hey, if you're pregnant or postpartum and your OML numbers call, you qualify for a temporary promotion. Which leads me to Jerome and Mac, because the two of you all are really kind of the ones that dug into the regulation to see what I qualified for. Because at one point in time, I was like, oh, they call my OML, but I'm not getting promoted. And yeah, it sucks, but you know, off to the next thing. Well, Sergeant Major kind of took that information and he hit the ground running. Immediately, he was typing up a memo. Immediately, he was like, what can we do? I was off to school. The promotion, the temporary promotion got approved. I then went off to MLC. And Sergeant Major, I just thank you really for that push. And I thank you for really going above and beyond. And it's something that Colonel Taylor, you too, if Sergeant Major is on board, Colonel Taylor is right behind him. Colonel Taylor's like, look, y'all discussed it, we good? You good? Okay. And I appreciate that ability to converse with them, to really trust them in leading me, because at the end of the day, I'm still a soldier. I need to be led too, right? You don't know everything. So thanks to the both of you. Not in attendance today is my First Sergeant Williams, and Sergeant Major Sanders, which is the letter that Sergeant Major Webster read earlier. Between the two of them, they really shaped me into the leader I am today. And so this would just be my quick thank you to them. My family was able to meet Sergeant Major Sanders at my E7 promotion, and they know that he's still very influential in my life, both personally and professionally. And so I just want to put that out in the atmosphere. Kind of moving on to my last point, and I won't hold you all here much longer. I purposely kind of saved this point for the end, because I knew I would probably get a little choked up. But I'm gonna try to pull it together. This has been the hardest year of my life, of my military career.
Take your time.
And so a lot of times I was really hard on myself, because I said, you know, Colonel Taylor, Sergeant Major, they don't really get to see Chyna MSG Williams at her very best. Instead, they had to see the version of me that's dealing with a baby with a heart attack and a lung disease, and all the uncertainties that come with that. And I had multiple conversations with my twin sister, and I said, you know, Charnel, it sucks because I know what I'm capable of, but I'm just not able to do that right now. My focus is elsewhere. Even to the point of contemplating getting out of the military, something I love.
There you go.
RJ coming into this world, such a blessing. One of my greatest blessings. But it was also a time that I questioned God. I questioned so many things. I said, why him? Why my child?
You're all right. Come on.
And then I think back on that note from my parents, you know. And the answer was really in that note. I'm so very thankful for where my son is today. He's 9 months old, so going on a year. And I remember a doctor telling me that my son's chance of survival was very low. And I called Wallace and I said, Wallace, I just want a year with him. Just give me a year. Just want a year. And to know that I would be approaching that here in a couple of months is a scary thought. God said, I'm not going to give you a year, I'm going to give you more than that. God is real. Prayer works. It was everyone in this room that prayed for me, thank you. That prayed for my son, thank you. Because the doctor that told me that his chances of survival was so slim got ruled out by actual tests that said, no, it's really not this disease that you think it is. It's something that we can control. It's something that we can intervene and help with. And it's just amazing to see God work. It really is. It's amazing to see him work. And I'm off my soapbox now. Feel like I had to just kind of get that out. Promotions don't come from man, they come from God. Miracles come from God. And I'm extremely thankful that, you know, my son, he's a little behind, but he's getting there. You know, he's getting there and he's making progress daily. And that's all that matters at this point to me. So I will close. Actually, let me look at my notes to make sure I didn't miss anything. But I think I've pretty much addressed everything. Again, I thank you all for being here. I thank you for allowing me to ramble a little bit. And I hope that you all will stick around and enjoy some Chick-fil-A and some cake in the back afterwards. Thank you again for your time. I appreciate it.
All right.